I mean, I'd never seen Buffy, so I watched Buffy for the first time.
How was that?
Oh, great.
I'm just curious because with the characters in the film, it's something when Owen revisits the show when he's an adult, but he's like, oh, Pinko Pig, a little corny, and coming to Buffy as an adult. Was that something similar for you?
I had to watch the first episode twice because I was like, no way, this sucks. but then, of course, like, you keep watching it and it's incredible. And they become your best friends.
I felt that way when I rewatched Goosebumps. Like the Haunted Mask episode of Goosebumps was one of my favorite episodes. And I watched it, I want to say a couple months ago. I'm like, oh, this is going to slap. It's so bad. But as a kid, I was like, it fucked me up. Like I was like, every Halloween mask I'm going to put on is going to stick to my skin. I was definitely afraid.
That's really scary.
The voice of Owen was actually inspired by Julianne Moore in Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights is one of my favorite films. And I had watched an EBK interview of Julianne Moore talking about how she wanted a separation of the head and the body. I just wanted to create my own separation of head and body because Owen is not comfortable in his body, and me and Jane talked about the voice feeling stuck in the upper chest. It also is in conjunction with the asthma that he struggles with throughout the film, and as he gets older the asthma gets worse and worse. And the physicality was just me trying to be as uncomfortable in my skin as possible, just walking and moving in a way that like didn't have a natural sway to it. I know I'm like walking with the cotton candy and my arms are like straight down by my side. So I'm walking. Just things like that.
There are 3 times that we see Maddie. In 1996, she's 14. Maddie was inspired by like stutter 90s boy, like really like loose physicality, like almost like hasn't claimed her body yet and is sort of like collapsed in a mode of self-protection and hasn't completely given up on this like childlike wonder, and it comes out when she talks about the show. And then Maddie is like her ability and her rage, and that was like Courtney loves Maddie. And then the final Maddie, I really wanted her to feel like a creature, something that doesn't really know how humans act, and also something in her like she hasn't quite adjusted to the reality of the midnight realm again. She's like being dragged from another time, and so there's almost like a lag in the movements.
For one reference point, Jane showed you the 1982 sci-fi film Liquid Sky. I watched the other night right after TV Glow. Fun viewing. How did that come into play with your performance?
The way that the monologue is delivered in Liquid Sky is like straight, no affect, totally like uninhibited power that isn't coming from like trying to dominate anyone. It's like a deep power. And so I had shown Jane the monologue and I had done a very emotional reading of it. And then Jane was like, remember Liquid Sky? Like, remember how it just says it. It became something that I was just like able to say with like trusting the dialogue of it.
The younger Owen is, the more authentic he is. And as he gets older, he kind of devolves and gets further from himself. The youngest Owen, played by Ian, he like is not afraid to kind of like not get fully what the Pinko Pig is and to just be like, what? Even though he's so drawn to it. But then as Owen gets older, he's like even more like scared to talk to Maddie. Even though they have more of a relationship now, he's a shell of himself. And I loved that like reverse.